They're probably the biggest one of, with Port Adelaide, the biggest unknown this season in terms of Essendon. Obviously, they took a swing for the fence when it came to their off-season. Jake Stringer and his haircut, which apparently is now lost.
That is the worst haircut of all time.
It's right up there. Devon Smith and Adam Sard both come in. Obviously, like Watson and Stanton retired, so they're outs in a sense of the word. But their forward line looks yeah, but Watson's not the same player he was. Stanton, good depth player. But I mean, their forward line looks incredible. I mean, when you add Joe Danaher, who kicked 65 goals last season, he was a lot better in front of goal. And on top of that, only 37 of his 65 goals came from a mark. So he's such a versatile player. He can play on the ground. He's got that buddy ability. You add in Tip and Woody, 34 goals last season. Fantasia, 39. Then you put Devon Smith in as well. And then the question mark, Stringer. Here's the question mark for me. Their season rests on what Stringer they can get. Can they get the 2015 All-Australian Stringer who kicked 59 goals, or are they going to get last year's Stringer? That's the question, who only kicked 24.
How are we going to answer that? There's no way of answering it. We don't know.
That's the thing. It's a rhetorical question in some ways because we just don't know.
Predictions and previews.
Yeah, but I mean, he kicked a
Lucky we
bag.
studied philosophy.
He kicked a bag of 4 or more goals 8 times in 2015, 3 times in the first 8 games of 2016, and then since then he's only done it twice in his last 25 games. So he's fallen off completely. Now we know there's been a lot of off-field things that could have easily been distracting him, but that's not great. I mean, and I think when you go, that's their forward line. Compose yourself, Chris. Moving on to their back line, which is obviously anchored by Hurley. I mean, Hurley is a brilliant defender. Hooker returns to his best position.
Is he going back?
Oh, I'd say
Finally.
surely. I mean, people forget that Hooker was an All-Australian defender in 2014. Like, people forget how good he was. So I think he's got to go back. You add Sard to that as well. I mean, his running goal. I mean, they got
We saw it, didn't we?
walloped by Richmond, but his running goal
FLX,
was
JLT.
incredible. Yeah, in the
He
JLT.
had 40 more bounces than any other player in the competition.
On
last
top
year.
of that, he goes at 80% efficiency from foot.
He's a freak.
That's incredible.
And with him and Connor McKenna
yeah, exactly.
off half back,
The
that's going to be
pace,
electrifying.
the pace.
Even Tipper Woody can go back there.
Yeah.
So much excitement around this team.
Yep. But this is the thing, all right? Their team, they're exciting. They'll be probably pretty in the sense of the word, and their pace is great. Does that work in finals when we saw Sydney smash them? We know they're a tough contested ball team, and the last 2 premierships have been won off. Really, the prettier, better team has lost due to pressure. Pretty hasn't standed up to pressure in the last 2 grand finals. I'm not sure this game style is built for finals.
They don't have that inside mid kind of ball.
No, that's the thing.
Ball
I mean,
player.
Zach Merritt, Dyson Heppel, Darcy Parish, they're all great players, but they rank last in clearances last season. They're not those grunt guys who are actually going to, get in
Watson
there and
in
do
his
the hard
heyday.
work. Exactly, yeah. And I mean, you look at, they conceded the 4th most inside 50s last season, which if they want to be a team that's actually going to genuinely compete for the flag, which a lot of people think they can, they've got to. That midfield can't allow that many opportunities. That's not the defense's fault. That's the midfield's fault for not running both ways.
Well, they're the second most corridor use of all teams last season. And then if you have a look, their defence was rated the easiest to move the ball against of any of the top 8 teams. They conceded an average of 92 points a game. Richmond conceded an average of 74 points a game. That's the benchmark.
Yep.
So I think
that's 18 points. The difference between them.
They're kind of built in a little bit of a sense of the way, if you know your NBA. They're built like Houston in terms of we're just going to outscore you. We don't really care how much you score. We're going to score more than you. But does that work in a grand final or a final series? That's the question.
So if Adelaide didn't work,
Exactly.
go
We've
back
seen
to
the last
Geelong.
2 years.
Go back to
Hasn't
Geelong in
worked.
the 80s. It didn't work.
Yeah. I just think that the way they're going contradicts the way that the modern successful game style is going, which I think is risky. But in saying that, I think they'll be in that 3 to 6 range in terms of not wins, in terms of on the ladder.
No, that's what I mean. On the ladder.
Yeah,
You really think?
I think if Stringer can get back to his best form, they're top 4, in my opinion.
I think they'll be in the 6 to 9 category.
I don't think they'll make a prelim because I don't think their game style will hold up in finals. But I think regular season,
I think winning a final is the pass mark for them.
7th to 10th.
I agree. I reckon 6.
6, yeah. I think that, I mean, this is a big one. This is a questionable one in terms of it could go a lot of different ways. There's a lot of unknowns. As we said, with the stringer question, nobody knows.